Man be man is back.
Oh, okay, boys, do it again. Oh my gosh, the ring got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have delivered. Something is true, something but oh, look at that, my God.
This is your boy.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash True Inferno. And I'm here with another Fortnite gameplay. Now, a number of months back, I was giving you guys my top 10 shows of all time. And I started with Nickelodeon, and I started with their top 10 best game shows and their top 10 best live action shows based off of my opinion, things of that nature. So we're going to resume that. It's been a number of months because a lot of stuff happened and I had to talk about it for so long. So yes, we can finally resume my top 10 shows fiasco. That's what we're going to call it. So in this case, now we're going to look at Nickelodeon's top 10 animated shows, or in this case, my top 10 best Nickelodeon animated shows. So with that said, let's start it off with number 10. Invader Zim. So yes, and before I go on with Invader Zim, I just want to point this out that all the shows on this list are classics. Most of you should know what they are. Like, I crap you not. Most, if not all of you, should know what these shows are, and Invader Zim is one of those shows. So basically, the premise goes like this. So basically, Invader Zim is about this alien named Zim who, by his own alien race, he's basically treated as a scrub, as a nobody, as somebody who would never get the job done, things of that nature. So he goes to Earth with his sidekick Gur, and they try to take over the world. But there's this kid there who is pretty much on to him, knows that he's really an alien and that he's trying to take over the planet, but nobody's believe him. And I believe, what's his name? I believe his name is Dib. Yes, his name is it Dib? Yeah, Dib is Dib. That's his name. And he normally fights against Zim and prevents him from taking over the world. Everybody else thinks Zim is just a normal kid or whatever, but that's not the case at all. So it's on the list because it's a really good show. The animation is different. I probably have to say, out of all the animated shows that Nick only had or has, Invader Zim is without question the most different of them all. The only one that could top that one is Ren and Stimpy. That one was really out of control in terms of animation wise and things of that nature. And this one's up there. But the shows itself was really, really dope. Now, the show had 2 seasons, 27 episodes. I thought it was more than that, to be honest. And it started in March 30th, 2001 up until August 19th, 2006. So this was after my birthday in that year, 2006. So that's pretty interesting. But like I said, man, the show was great. I think I watched all the episodes. And if you haven't seen Invader Zim, you need to check that show out yourself, because it's really a classic. Now let's move on to number 9. SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, a number of you gonna be like, why is SpongeBob SquarePants so low on this list? Here's why. SpongeBob SquarePants falls into the same trap that The Simpsons fell into, that Family Guy fell into, that I want to say I think the Fairly Odd Parents did as well. I don't remember. I need to check and see, but I think they fell into that same trap as well. And that is this: they are constantly coming out with episodes. It seems like it will never end. That's one of the problems with SpongeBob. So let's go all the way back to the year 1999. Yes, 1999, because it came out May 1st, 1999. And back then, the show was great. And they have 11 seasons. And I mean, they have like I think it's, if I saw it correctly, 230 episodes. Now, I've seen shows with more episodes than that, so I'm not saying this is like, oh my God, it's over the top, but that's a lot of episodes still, nevertheless. You know, there's animes with like 800, 900, and thousands of episodes. So yeah, I've seen more episodes than this. But this been going on since 1999, and we almost at 20 years. So that's pretty amazing, good and bad. So the first 3 to 4 seasons, I will admit, SpongeBob was great. Now, when SpongeBob first came out, I was in high school, and a lot of my classmates, a lot of the a lot of the cats that was going to my high school, they were talking about SpongeBob, and even after I graduated high school, you know, some of the guys and some of the people that I would hang out with online or whatever, they would talk about SpongeBob, and I always thought it was overrated. But then I I watched some of the episodes. They was actually pretty funny, like the first 4 seasons. So they was actually pretty funny. But then later on, they fell off. So probably around the time Derek Dryman, who was the original creative director, when he left, that's when it fell down hill. So, but I think, no, not him. It was somebody else. Somebody else left, and then they came back around that time. That's when the show really fell downhill. So, again, like around the season 4, season 5, that's when the show kind of fell downhill and things of that nature. But they still going with it. And that's really why it's low on the list. It's low on the list because they still going. And after season 4, that's when the show fell off, in my opinion. But it's still on the list because, 1, the first 4 seasons were amazing. They were straight up hilarious. 2, this is Nickelodeon's mascot right here. Like, this is their biggest cash cow because they forced it to be their biggest cash cow, to be honest. It's the king of all the Nicktoons right now. It took over that crown from Rugrats. More of them later. So, yes, they made the list. But, and then they have, like, I remember something correctly, they have at least 2 movies, and I think a 3rd one is coming out. So, if it haven't come out already. But, so yeah, you can't deny the success that SpongeBob has had for Nickelodeon. That's why it's made the list. But the reason why it's low on the list is because it's still going after all these years. It fell into that same trap that, again, The Simpsons and Family Guys and other shows like that fell into, where they kept going and they don't want to change nothing. So that's a problem right there. And they kind of forced it down people's throats for all these years. Yeah, the 3rd movie comes out in 2020, actually, July 22nd, 2020. And it's called The SpongeBob Movie It's a Wonderful Sponge, which is a pretty interesting title. But yeah, that's why it's low on the list, but at the same time, that's why it still made the list. So there's some positives and negatives about SpongeBob. Now let's move on to number 8, Rocket Power. All right, so Rocket Power is a classic. I mean, like I said, all these are classic, but Rocket Power was really, really good. So this joint had 4 seasons and 71 episodes, and it started 2 days before my birthday, August 16, 1999 to July 30th, 2004. So basically, here's the deal with Rocket Power. Rocket Power revolves around the day-to-day adventures of a group of 4 young friends. So you got the adventurous and vain athlete Oswald Otto Rocket. We all know who that is. His tomboyish and responsible older sister Regina, aka Reggie Rocket. The brainy techno whiz kid and goalie Sam the Squid Dillard. And the slow-witted but loyal videographer Maurice Trista Rodriguez, as they spend their free time playing extreme sports such as surfing, skateboarding, snowboarding, hockey, and getting into various situations and conquering the ups and downs of life. The series is set in the fictional town of Ocean Shores, California, which looks dope as heck, by the way. Think of the pier. when you see Ocean Shores, think of the pier, basically. Now, although Reggie lives with their strict but loving and fun dad, Raimundo Ray Rocket, who along with his business partner, retired surfer and self-styled philosopher Tito McConney, yes, that he basically Hawaiian, they runs a restaurant called the Shore Shack, and where the kids usually hang out at. In most episodes, they get involved in competitions, but end up learning that their friendship is more important than winning. So, yeah, it's a really great show, and they actually had a movie. They had a movie as well, and the movie was good. The movie was really, really good as well. So this is a classic right here, man. I had to say the first 3 seasons was really, really good. The 4th season was still good, but not in comparison to the first 3. So yeah, if you haven't seen Rocket Power, man, you need to check that show out. It's really, really, really great. So, and I believe the movie was called, Rocket Power Race Across New Zealand. I want to say something about Down Under or Australia, but it's called Rocket Power Race Across New Zealand. Really dope movie, if I do say so myself. So that's going to do it for this video right here. And this video was so long, I had to split it up into 3 parts, man. It was really that long, man. So with that said, y'all know who this is. This is your boy, the new Jay Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.